Hello Aries, this is a timeless weekend tarot quickie reading for you, even though that sounds contradictory because of timeless and weekend. This reading could find you for this weekend, resonating with you at that moment, but it could also find you in a completely different time frame. I like timeless readings a lot because I have figured out that, at least with my readings, it often is so that it starts to resonate or unfold 2 years later. I mean, sometimes it partially resonates already with something that is on our mind, but that doesn't have, or that couldn't come into reality yet. And it takes some time to develop and manifest, and sometimes that time can be quite long. And I'm also not just a tarot reader, I'm very psychic. And just as an example, as a child, I had a vision of an apartment that I would live in 25 years later. And I have that very often with visions, that it takes years until they finally come true. And it's just very similar with my tarot readings. I think some tarot readers, they are very good at, putting something into a stricter time frame, but I don't know why it is different with me. I have just accepted it, that's the way it is. And as I said already, it could be that the topic I'm talking about is something that is already in your head currently, but it might just take time until it all unfolds. And the next thing I want to mention is that those are my own tarot cards. I call them the medieval oracle deck. And just let me get into the reading. In the middle of the spread, you have the Thief. This represents your energy. I feel that very strongly. But you're not a thief. I also feel that. It's more about leaving a situation, packing your stuff, and leaving. The first scenery I had in mind is in literal, actual movement, moving your apartment. That could resonate with some of you, but it could also, like leaving your job, leaving a relationship, someone with whom you have not shared the same apartment, but maybe you already took a lot out of your stuff to this person and now you're taking it with you. Or, if it's a job, you're taking all the stuff out of your office. Or I feel like you're just leaving something behind. And all the readings I did so far, they were very positive. Yours is not entirely, I feel like you could be going through some negative emotions, but they are not like devastatingly negative, like for most of you, I hope. But there is, just look at his face. Can I bring it closer without it getting blurry? I think he has something, like he looks really like he's focused on something not outside of him, but like he's introspective, which is ironic because, in the first moment, I intended this thief card to be literally about theft. But then it would be a very, reflective thief. But, now this facial expression makes sense in this reading. Like he is thinking about something, he is meditative about something, like not in the detached way meditative, but he might even go through a lot of serious life questions. And this could be you, whatever it is you're leaving behind. I mean, it's always a little bit uncomfortable to leave something behind, even if it was a toxic situation and a burdening situation, and it's a relief to leave that situation behind. It's still somehow painful sometimes, not because we still would like to be in this situation, but because we are coming out of a trauma, out of maybe even an abusive situation. And then we start to think a lot about this situation and to reflect on life. And this could be a state where you are in when you find this reading or when this reading finds you. But then now, this is the only negative part. This frog card is something that you ought to see, that you ought to realize. And in my deck, it stands for transformation, and it also stands for surprises. When you think of kissing the frog, and the frog, you know, like in a fairy tale, turns into a prince or a princess, you know, and your reading, it doesn't have to represent a person. It could just be a situation, like you will later, not even far in the future, but probably already in the near future, realize that it was really a very great transformation to leave this situation behind. There might even be a huge blessing beyond all of it that you don't even see yet. I'm still trying to figure this horse card out, but before I do that, I'm going to the Jester, because that was one card I immediately, when I laid out the cards, I immediately understood what this card was trying to tell me, especially together with this. Just this whole situation, as I said, I don't feel like you are horribly devastated, but you might be under stress and you might go through a certain kind of sadness. That this is just an invitation that you could take this situation a little bit more playfully. And please let me point that out. You know, we never find, you know, we are just uploading videos and we never know who will click on this video if something truly terrible happened to you, or, you know, if someone got a terrible diagnosis or something like that. Please do not relate this to your situation. If I'm saying, yeah, you just should just see this whole situation in a very playful manner, just you joke about it. I would never say this to someone who's going through some very serious things. So, as I said, this is about someone who might have left their job, even voluntarily. And I don't feel like there's a dire need for something here, like there's something very life-threatening at play in this reading. So if you are in a very life-threatening situation, this might not be your reading. When I'm saying things like, oh, you just take this situation just very loosely, on the light shoulder, and, you know, just in a very near future you will just be joking about it, it's just a joke. You know, I would never say such a thing. So this is for someone, I mean, even if you left a situation, a relationship, I know it can be so painful, but if you anyway already know that this person was utterly wrong for you and you still feel this sadness somehow, that's what I mean. Like, you are safe now, you are leaving this person, and you could see this as a life lesson and maybe, you know, see it not as a loss, but yeah, just as a life lesson. And it's time to get back to your joy, to find something that is giving you fun again. Even when you left a job, like, I don't feel like if there's someone who left their job that you urgently will be in need of money, or otherwise, you know, you will end up on the street. I'm not feeling something really terrifying in this reading. So this thief, this person is leaving voluntarily, and this person still has some things to reflect upon, to think about, but I think it's time to just, you know, see it from a little more funny perspective, with a little bit more ease. And then, you know, I feel like this unconscious horse, you know, the horse in my oracle deck represents friendship. It can also represent vehicles because, you know, in the Middle Ages, they didn't have cars. Their horse was their vehicle. But I don't feel anything about cars here in this reading. It could be even, you know, they are even, or this thief is even walking into this horse's direction. So it could be that you might have a friend around you who will help you a lot, and maybe this friendship will then even become stronger and re-blossom, like go through a new level of growth. This is something like this situation might have a very nice side effect onto another situation that you don't even see yet, that you're not aware yet, but that you might soon become aware of. And the outcome, I have pulled this card so often today, the lute. So yeah, you know, for some people it is representing music, but not for all. And in this reading, I feel also very strongly there is just something about playfulness. Try to not take this situation too serious. That's just, I can't just repeat it all over again, you know. Only if someone is watching who is truly going to something extremely serious and dangerous, then this message is not for you. But the person I'm sensing here in this reading is safe. And they are just going through something that is not dangerous but uncomfortable. Maybe some of you might even blame themselves for what happened, whatever happened, if it's at work or in your private life or in a romantic relationship. It feels like you knew you had to go, but even though you somehow knew it, in the moment you leave, some doubts might kick in. Like maybe it was your mistake that this person treated you this way, or that it didn't work out. Try to not burden yourself with that. Try to, tap back into your joy, into something funny, even if comedy helps you. There's something just about playfulness that you should be tapping into. I will just leave it here. Thank you for watching.